What is good, hunters? Welcome back to another video. I want to talk about animal variations and how much of it do we have in Way of the Hunter. It's no secret that a lot of hunters are requesting this feature. They want more rares, more rare animals, which feeds into trophy hunting. People who like trophy hunting, this is huge for them. It's a deal breaker, and I want to take a look and see how much variations do we already have in Way of the Hunter. I feel there's this notion that we don't have many, but we do. It probably doesn't really stand out as other games, but there's a lot of small varieties that we do have at the moment. When it comes to elks, this is the species I want to look at first. This is a series I want to do with other animals. Some will be a lot more challenging than others, but it's a series that I'm really dedicated to. So I'm going to start with the elks. And when it comes to rarity, we don't have any rare versions of the elks, but we have two types of elks. We have the Rocky Mountain elks, which you can find on Nez Perce Valley, and we have the Roosevelt elks, which you can find on Aurora Shores. And we can tell the variations of these different animals and their life cycles based on the fur and their antlers. Antlers are basically the main attraction here, especially for trophy hunters. We love when we hunt and we're able to get non-typical, racks and stuff so we can hang in our lodge. That drives a lot of us who hunt. So having variety is never a bad thing. From what I've noticed in Way of the Hunter, I believe we have two different types of antlers when it comes to the elks. There's a brown, medium brown looking version of it, and there's a dark version of it. I'm assuming that the game randomly assigns these antlers to different herds, to different animals. I'm not sure if genetic plays a part. Maybe it does. I mean, if you find an animal in a high fitness area, you would see that the antlers look a lot different. There's a lot more, it's thicker. It looks healthy, if you want to, for lack of a better description, and then you will find some animals in the lower fitness area and you will see like the antlers would look very thin, very brittle, very, very frail. And that's very, very noticeable. When you use your binoculars, you can actually look and see, and you can tell that this animal's genetics is not great. So when we take a closer look at this, for example, this young elk, we can see that the genetics is not great, 26%. And when you look at the antlers, you can see that it reflects that. It's nothing special. It's not terrible, but it's nothing special. You can tell that, okay, this is a young elk, and the genetics is not great, which is the case. It's a 1-star. And again, these animals will respond to your callers. When you're using a low call, you would call in these animals with these type of genetics. If you take a look at an adult with bad genetics, this one has 18%. It's also a 1-star. And we can see that the antlers are pretty much the same. There's a little difference, but it's pretty much, it looks the same. The color is the same. So there really isn't much of a jump from young to adult. Now, if you look at another adult, which has a little bit of better genetics, 32%, we see these dark antlers on them, right? So you're seeing where there's a higher increase of genetics percentage, you're seeing that there's a better version of the antlers. Now, this doesn't guarantee that this animal will be anything special because it's at 32%. We know that animals when they're born or when they're spawned into the game, whatever genetics that they spawn in at, they stay at that for the rest of their cycle. So clearly this is not a good genetic animal. It won't become anything, but still you're seeing that there's a difference in the antlers. It looks a lot more sturdy, a lot more healthier. And again, is this random? Or is this because the genetics is a little bit better? If you look at a mature elk, this one with 90% genetic, you can visibly see that the antlers are awesome. It's bigger, it looks stronger, it's healthy, but it still has that brown look, that brown variant. This is a 5-star, so pretty much it's one of the best you can get. And I think this is the top of the food chain. This is the best antler you can get in this category. When we take a look at another 5-star, this is a 99%. But as you would notice, the antler is different. It's the dark looking one that I mentioned. And this is also a premium version of it. You can see how amazing this antler look. This is also on top of the food chain, I believe, and this is the best you can get. So, and I believe that's pretty much the cap. That's all the variety really you can get here. Maybe there are certain subtle differences in between based on genetics or where you find the animal, but overall you can see that there's a limited amount of antlers that we have at our disposal here. So I expect more variation. I know this is not really easy to implement, but I think this definitely will enhance the game for everyone, especially those who are interested in trophy hunting. So if we take a look at this herd, we can see that there's some very nice variations here. The game seems to assign a very nice brown, kind of tan look to like younger elks. It's very, very distinctive. When you use your binoculars and you look, you can see it very distinctively and know that it's a young animal. And you would notice that as the animal mature, it takes on this sort of a grayish, kind of, I wouldn't say a washed out look, but a less vibrant look. It moves differently, it walks a bit slower, the body posture is different. And again, this all comes by really observing the animals and hunting them over time. So again, we can see some really beautiful variations here. We just need more of this, expand a little bit more, and I think we'll have something great or greater. So as we can see, we already have fantastic variations. It may not stand out as other games would, but we definitely have it. And I think on some levels it's being overlooked by players. They feel as if we don't have variety, which we do. But overall, again, variety is great. I'm looking forward to seeing what we get. I know on the roadmap there is a lot more variations coming, and this will only make the game better. So let me know what you guys are thinking, what your thoughts are on currently the variations we have for the elks, or other animals for that case. And we're going to take a deeper look at other animals coming up. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.